Hey scientists, are you ready for more learning today? Well, Jeffrey's got a very important purpose today. He's going to be the planet Earth again. Thank you, Jeffrey. I'm feeling kind of bad that I used him a little bit like a pincushion, but he doesn't seem to complain. He's okay with it. Before we get on today's lesson, let's talk about lesson number 7. It was about the atmosphere, and question number 1 asked us which layer of the atmosphere do we get our oxygen from, and that is A, the troposphere. The second question was which layer is the coldest, and that was the mesosphere, letter C. Number 3 asked us why the ozone is so important. That's letter B, because it protects us from the sun's ultraviolet light. And the last question was, in the thermosphere, how are meteoroids, what happens to them, and they get burned up in the thermosphere. All right, let's get on to lesson number 8. And I don't know, maybe you've already guessed it, but it's about hemispheres, the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere. Here's another look at it. Excuse me, Jeffrey. So lesson 8, the title is Hemispheres. A hemisphere is 2 halves. So half of Jeffrey's face on the top is the Northern Hemisphere, and then under his chin is the Southern Hemisphere. If you look at his smile, it's red. That's the perfect color for that because that is known as the equator, and that's the warmest place on the planet Earth. So when the Earth orbits, that means circle around a pathway, a constant pathway, it tilts a little bit, and that's what helps us have different seasons. But did you know that while you are enjoying the hot, sunny weather in June, it is freezing cold in Australia? Later, when you are bundled up and building snowmen, like today, I mean, there's a lot of snow out there today, in December or April, as it is today, people in Australia are headed for the beach. The Earth is divided into 2 halves, or hemisphere. The Earth is Northern Hemisphere on the top of his head. This is where the United States is. This is North America is up here. And then Australia, like I said, is where Jeffrey's chin is. That's the Southern Hemisphere, below the equator. The Earth is tilted slightly on its axis so that it travels in its orbit around the sun. One hemisphere gets sunlight, the other one gets less sunlight. The Earth's axis and orbit around the sun is what gives us our seasons. It takes 1 whole year for Earth to complete its orbit or circle around the sun. During our summer, the North Pole is tilted toward the sun. This gives the Northern Hemisphere longer days and more direct sunlight. So the weather is usually hot. At the same time, the opposite side of the Earth, the Southern Hemisphere, is tilted away from the sun. The days are shorter, and the sun shines down at an angle so that the weather is much cooler. As Earth orbits around the sun, it stays tilted at the same angle. This time, the Northern Hemisphere is tilted away from the sun, so our days are shorter and cooler. In fact, the North Pole gets no sunlight at all. Now in the spring, which we're coming to right now, Earth has traveled 3/4 of the way around the sun, and the days are starting to get warmer. I mean, even today with all the snow, it's wet snow, it's warm snow. It moves back, it's closer to the sun. Before long, the summer again, and the whole cycle starts over again. So the next time you are freezing cold in the winter, consider taking a trip to Australia, where summer is just beginning. You ready for your questions? Number 2, 4, please. Number 1, when is it summer in Australia? A, June, B, September, D, December, or D, March. The last one was C, December. December starts with the letter D. Ta. Number 2, which of the following is a true statement? It has to be true. The Northern Hemisphere is above the equator. The Southern Hemisphere is tilted toward the sun in June. Letter C. In the Northern Hemisphere, the days are always shorter. Or D. The U.S. and Australia are in the same hemisphere. One of those is true. Number 3. How long does it take for the Earth to travel around the sun? A, 1 day. B, oh, that'd be quick. Never mind. B, 1 month. C, 1 season. Or D, 1 year. Number 4. Why is the Northern Hemisphere usually hot in the summer? A, the Earth is closer to the sun. B, the Northern Hemisphere is tilted closer to the sun during the summer. C, it moves closer to the equator. Or D, the sun shines down at an angle. All right, good luck with answering those. And remember, you can always go back and listen to it again if you're not sure. Right, Jeffery? Hey, thanks, Jeffrey. You're a gem, you are. I'm glad you're here, Jeffrey.